I was on a call the other day with a client and he jumped on the call and asked me a question about a thread that I wrote on Threads. It was like a tweet. And I had forgotten about the tweet first, but I went back on my threads because I don't really write a lot on there. And I saw the tweet and it was about kind of like my mindset around myself, I guess. And in this video, you guys are going to get to see me answer something that I don't really talk a lot about, which is mindset and confidence and belief. If you want to succeed in life, if you want to be one of the greatest, one of the things you have to achieve is you got to have almost like a delusional belief in your ability to accomplish anything you set out to achieve. You guys are going to get to see the tweet that I made. Yeah, hopefully you guys are going to enjoy more of this mindset stuff. If you guys want to see more of this, I'd love to start dropping more mindset stuff because, to be honest, I actually spent a lot more of my time refining my mind and refining my thoughts and just creating these anchors, right? So that whenever anything goes wrong, even if you took all the money away, even if you got me to living in the basement, working from the basement, I would still be back here in no time. Check out this video and let me know if you guys like it. Bye-bye.
I had one last question, but it was more about life in general, because I saw one of your publications, your posts on Threads, and it really got me thinking. I want to know like how you get to that conclusion.
Yep.
And was it always like that? So it was like you were talking about like I have right here is like, as much as I strive to build great things, I try to feel more to experience the present moment, like chasing an outcome with the hope to feel more complete. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, so you don't become a winner by winning, instead you win because you're a winner, right?
Yeah.
So that's very interesting to me. And and I guess it's easy to say, oh yeah, but search is there, right? But did you feel like that before like actually building a successful business? And if yes, how did you get mentally to that point? Because I definitely relate with the idea of like this kind of anxiety of wanting to chase something.
Oh bro,
and you're not even enjoying your life, to be honest. At some point you're like, what the fuck am I doing? Right?
Yeah, because it literally becomes toxic, right? So I think it's something that you have to force yourself to become aware of, okay? Because especially a lot of the successful entrepreneurs are successful because at first they're super insecure and they want to prove something, right? We all have a chip on our shoulder. If we didn't have a chip on our shoulder, this we wouldn't be on this Zoom call. We would just be doing average shit, living our life being average, just conducting the normal average thing, right? But we've all gone through moments and experiences that have led us to feeling like, hey, you know what, I actually deserve more, right? But one thing I've realized is that even after I've built a successful company, I've realized that, like, man, why am I still being driven by the same scarcity, by the same chip on my shoulder, by the same reasons that got me to get started in the game first? So I think that the way you get started is actually the thing that will cost you like the real success. So you got to change your drive, right? And for me, I had to change from I'm doing this because I want to make money to I think I deserve to be great. I think I deserve to be good at business, not necessarily because business is going to validate me, but because I'm already good and I'm a blessed business. But like literally like this mindset of like being like of almost like being so abundant, because and I'm gonna get a little bit spiritual on you guys, but like, how are we created in the first place as humans? Like, if you really think about it, man, like it's some crazy magical shit, right? So you're gonna tell me that you were born out of nothing and you're gonna let something that's created by another human keep you from not growing? Like listen, like, and this is literally the thing that puts business into context, because a lot of people like to complicate business and they like to make it positioned as, oh, this is something that only the greats do. But it's like, no, not really. This is something that if you put in the time to learn, you can achieve anything you want in business. But a lot of the people at the top, they get their ego from their success in business, and they like to put it on a pedestal because it separates them from everybody else. But the truth is, the me who was making 2K a month and the me today is still the same fucking person. It's just that the me I am today has broken up a few beliefs and has experienced reality, a different level of reality that allows me to almost like transcend the limitations I would put on myself, but the past reality that I would see, right? So it's almost like if you need to allow yourself to believe that you deserve it, because the decisions, because like, you know how we're always trying to be like, okay, but like, what is the build and release offer? What is the perfect thing? Okay, but how am I going to position the guarantee? How am I? So you see, it's almost from the perspective of like, oh, I want it to be perfect so I don't fail. So it actually keeps you from it's like you're not flowing. It's not flow. You're not in flow. For me, if I design, I think to really scale, you need to get into flow with your business. Meaning, you need to be like, I'm going to do a build and release offer. I'm going to know the pricing. I'm going to know the positioning. I'm going to know how I'm going to get leads. I'm going to know how I'm going to close. Okay. And then you just go implement, execute. Do not try to think of like, oh, but what if this happens? No, it doesn't matter. Just like anything in society, everything comes from action, reaction. And then you get feedback loop, you improve the action, and then you go back to the reaction. But a lot of people never go through the feedback loop because they're so worried on the fucking action. They're like, oh, I don't know, it's not perfect. I need this to be. No. You're not understanding what nature is. Nature, I have the water there. It keeps flowing the same fucking way for the last fucking, I don't know how many years this river has existed. That's how business should work. You just need to fucking flow. You wake up, get attention. You convert that attention into appointments. You get those appointments into deals. If it's not working, you refine the actions. Like, it's to that level. Like, you literally need to get into flow. So when you understand the business to that level, and you just understand that it's a game, well, it has nothing to do with you or how good you are. It just has to be like, okay, I'm gonna just find the knowledge that I need to scale a business, and I'm gonna let it happen. So, but like for me, and until you really separate yourself from the success to who you are as a human, you will be the biggest bottleneck for your organization. Like the best CEOs are people who don't actually do shit. Like, they don't do nothing. Because as long as you're in your business, you are the bottleneck. Right now, I'm the sole responsible person as to why we're not at 9 figures. And the sooner you stop being like, oh, I need to be the guy who's leading appointment setting, I need to be the guy who's doing offers, I need to be the guy who's closing, the sooner you literally be like, oh shit, what the fuck? The reason why I wanted to get rich is the reason why I'll never get wealthy. And for me, what I like to look at is, I look at guys like Chamath Palihapitiya, they're on a Zoom call once a week and they're worth $1 billion. I'm like, this guy didn't necessarily work harder than I did. Mark Zuckerberg didn't necessarily become a billionaire in his 20s because he worked harder than us. It's because he just picked the games and got capital and invested to build the infrastructure that's going to make him a billionaire forever. So it's like, when you step away from this ego, and I think a lot of people call it an ego thing and they just try to go into this realm of like ego shit, but it's like, business is really about building something that other people will value. So build and release offer is, you're going and sourcing all these systems, all these talent, all these insights. So it's insights, systems, talent. You're building a pool of insight on the best performing creative for insurance, on the best sales process for insurance, on the best talent for a best appointment setter for insurance, the best closers for insurance. And then you're building the best systems for insurance. And then you're building it as in bulk. And then you're going back to the marketplace and being like, hey, I can plug and play every single thing that you need to be successful. But you're going to have to pay a lot more upfront than you would pay over time. But at least every problem is going to be solved. So I want you guys to think from that lens. It's like you're spending more time building something that's way more valuable, and you're figuring out a way to fulfill it at scale. But for this tweet, I think it just came from, I think it was maybe 15 weeks ago. How many weeks is that? As much as
Yeah, it was like 15.
yeah, 15 weeks ago. I'm trying to think what time was this? 15 weeks is what, like 4, 5 months? I think this came from me realizing that I was just working a little too much. And I realized that, like, it's not about how hard I work. I just genuinely just feel like I gotta just deserve it, and I just deserve it. I just deserve more. And I don't deserve more because I sold my life to work, because that's not how the largest organizations are built. And I never want to build a business because I'm trying to fill a hole. I generally just want to do it out of, it's almost like one of the things that really inspire me. Last night I was watching Mission Impossible by Tom Cruise, and it's like there's something beautiful about seeing how he works, right? There's something inspiring to me. Like, for me, when I see people are great at what they do, there's nothing that inspires me the most than doing that. And it helps me just understand that, like, hey man, like, the beautiful thing about business is we do action and then we make money. So like the feedback is super short-sighted to the money, right? But I realized that the greatest people are not great at their craft because they're trying to get an outcome. The outcome is how great they are at the craft. Does that make sense? As an example, if I make 100 grand in a week, okay, and the goal was money, do you think the following week I'm gonna work as hard?
No,
right? So this is why most people never scale a business to 6 figures, even worse, to $1 million a year. And for me, when I'm like, bro, you're struggling to make $1 million a year and you've been in business for a decade, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it's not that hard. You know why it's hard for them? Because they never fell in love with being good at what they do enough to be curious. Because when you decide to want to be good at what you do, you get like this curiosity with this like consistent urge to be like, oh, how are they doing it? Oh, how is Mr. Beast building a multiple 9-figure business off of content? What the fuck? It doesn't make any sense. So it leads you down this path of like curiosity, and you end up with insights that most people don't have. But without curiosity, without the desire to be great and just generally become great at the craft, you will never be curious to go one step forward, one step further than most people will do once they actually get their 10K a month, their 20K a month, their 100K a month, then 100K a week, then 100K a day, then 100K an hour, then $1 million a day. These are like super long feedback loops that you need to keep on going even after you've solved money problems. And I think that for me, what this tweet was, it was almost like a decision for me to be like, hey, I'm gonna be good. I want to become good because it's who I am, not because I have to prove myself and just flex on TikTok or Instagram.